We're going to go through yield grade, quality grade, and then kind of the value of these carcasses. All right, so we're splitting these carcass between the 12th and the 13th rib. We can count ribs from the sternum up. Another way that's quicker that we normally do is count the lumbar vertebrae coming from the back. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a quarter. That'll put us right in that lumbar juncture. And then we just take a knife. Open that up to where we can see the loin eye, or that longissimus dorsi muscle. We're going to measure the back fat thickness and the ribeye area. So one of the measurements is going to be the back fat thickness, how much fat is laid down on the outside of this carcass. So for doing that, we're going to use our 12th and 13th rib surface here. We're going to go from the backbone around 3/4 of the way around this loin eye. We're going to place our ruler on here. This number here is preliminary yield grade, so before we put any adjustments in, this is what our yield grade would be. So with this, we're about a 2.8. If we flip that around and look at inches, we're looking at about 3/10 of an inch of back fat. Then next, we are going to measure the loin eye area, the ribeye area here. We're only measuring the longissimus dorsi, so this one muscle that I'm outlining right here. So we got some accessory muscles here on the side, a couple up on the top, but what we're measuring for this is just that longissimus dorsi. So I'm using a grid to help measure. I'm going to place this on here to where I have to count as little as possible. I've laid it to where it's right against this side, so we have nothing to count on that side, so I'm just going to start counting around. Every box or every dot, 10 of those makes 1 square inch. So we have a few of these blocked out already. So this large box here is 8 square inches. This box here is 1 square inch. This larger box is 2 square inches. And then each one of these side, like along the side, are 1 square inch as well. So that'll help us for counting purposes. So when we look at this, the 8 square inch box is covered, the 2 square inches is covered, and then also this 1 square inch down here. So starting out, we're going to have 8, 9, 10, 11 square inches, and then we're just going to count the extra boxes around the outside of that that touch the muscle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. We started with 11 square inches, and then we have 39 on top of that. So the 39 would be 3.9 added to our 11. So we're looking at a 14.9 square inch ribeye. All right, the next factor we're going to look at is quality grade. So this basically is a measure of palatability. How good is the steak from this carcass going to taste? We use 2 factors. So one is maturity and the second is marbling. So maturity, we can come through and look at what we call the thoracic buttons on the side of this to get a physiological age. That's these cartilage tips. You can see how the bone hasn't fully developed all the way out to the edge. So we know that these are all young carcasses. Next factor is marbling. That's the intramuscular fat, so the fat within the muscle. So we're not looking at the fat outside, it's all the little specks of fat that's inside that muscle. We're going to use the USDA marbling cards. Shows you the different degrees of marbling. So slight, doesn't have very much at all in there. And then as you move up, small has a little bit more, modest a little bit more, moderate, slightly abundant, and then moderately abundant. We're basically just going to hold that up, but we definitely have more than a slight. Definitely more than a small. I'd say we're in the modest range. We'll go ahead and look at the moderate. I don't think we quite fit into the moderate, so we're going to be somewhere in the modest range on this carcass. So that's going to put us average choice.